Hello friend, in today's video we will learn how we can simulate the smart car parking system project in Proteus software with the help of Raspberry Pi. So before start this video I would like to tell you what we will learn in this video. So first we will see the final output of this project. Then later we will see what are the different types of software you need to install in your laptop and how to install that software. Then after that we will see how you can draw this circuit diagram in Proteus software, and then after that later we will see the complete programming. We understand the complete program of this project, and at the final we will see how to run this project. So I request you please watch this complete video so that you will get idea about each and everything. The main concept behind this project is that whatever the data from the sensor like first, second and third, the whatever the slot present, free or pass slot, that will be reflected on your mobile application. So in this video you will learn how you can send the data from your Proteus software on the mobile application, so you can watch the current status of your IR sensor. Let's see what will the final output of this project. So when you run your project, then you can see first welcome message print on the screen. Then it will show the car parking system name on LCD. Then after that it will show the slot 1 status, slots 2 status and slot 3 status, because we have 3 IR sensor. As you can see, slot 1, slot 2 and slot 3 are parked because we have given the 1 signal to IR sensor. Then this park status also reflected on our mobile application. You can see on mobile application all the 3 blocks are in red color. The red color means the car is parked at that location. So when I give the 0 signal on IR sensor, then first it will detect the IR sensor first status, that is slot 1 is free. Then you can see slot 2 also free and slot 3 also free, and all the status are reflected currently on our mobile application, and this is a live status. You can see all the 3 slot status has a green color. Green color means there is no car. So when you change any one IR sensor to 0 to 1, so let's say I will change the middle sensor to 1. So you can see slot 2 is parked because I have changed middle sensor to 1, and first and third is free, and same reflected on our mobile application. So this is the complete idea behind this project. So we will learn step by step all the important part of this project. So watch this complete video so that you will get idea about each and everything. So before start the next part, I request you please subscribe my channel. You can see currently I have 665 subscriber and 1348 watch hour. So to verify my channel on the YouTube, I require 1000 subscriber and 4000 watch hour, and this only possible because of you. So please support me. Please click on the subscribe button. Also click on the bell icon so that you will get notification. So once you click on the subscribe button, it is also beneficial for you, because you can see I have uploaded more than 30 to 40 video on Raspberry Pi, and video is starting from the LED till the IoT. So if you want to learn Raspberry Pi from me in the free, so you can subscribe my channel and please watch my all video link given in the description. Okay, before start the project, let's see what are the different types of software you require in your laptop. So first software you require is Proteus 8.9. So if you want to download Proteus 8.9 software in a free, just go to the YouTube and search free Proteus 8.9 software, and you can see many video there and download that software from that video. So once you download Proteus 8.9, then later we will require, you can see in code we have MQTT PAHO client. So we need to install this PAHO library in MQTT software. So we require this PAHO library in our Proteus software. So this is very important. And how to install that library, please watch this step, each and every step, so that you can install the PAHO library in your Proteus software. So when you run your project, you might see this error, module found error, no module name PAHO. So if you found this error, that means PAHO library not installed in your Python. So first you require the Python 3.9. So you can see you will check here you have Python 3.9 or not installed in your laptop. So once you have Python 3.9 software, then go to the CMD. So very important, first to install the Python 3.9 and Proteus 8.9. Okay, once you install the Python 3.9, Proteus 8.9, then later we will install the PAHO library. So if you want to install the PAHO library, again go to the CMD, and once you go to the CMD, just follow this step. First you have to upgrade your pipe. So how to upgrade your pipe? Type this command pipe install upgrade pipe. So copy this command. I will add these notes in my Google Drive link. Download this note so that you will get this command. So copy this command, go to the CMD and paste here. So once you paste here, click on enter. So once you click on enter, this pipe get upgrade in your laptop. So after that pipe upgrade in your laptop, the next part is you have to install the Paho library. So how to install that Paho library? Copy this command, pipe3 install Paho MQET Paho etcd. So once you copy this command, go to again CMD and paste here. So once you paste here, click enter. So once you click enter, this pipe get installed in your laptop. So if you want to check the Paho install in your laptop or not, go to your Python 3.9. So open from the start bar Python 3.9. So once you open Python 3.9, you can see this shell Python 3.9.6 shell. Then go to your Proteus code and copy this command, import Paho MQET client as Paho. Copy and paste here. Once you paste here, press enter. So once you paste enter, you can see there is no error, and if there is no error, that means the Paho successfully installed in your laptop. Now we have to install that Paho in your Proteus software. So again go to your CMD and type same command, this one pipe3 install etcd. So copy this command, go here, type again, paste and press enter. So once you press enter, you can see there is a message that Paho is already installed in a laptop and at this path. So go to that path, see user Lenovo. Lenovo is my username. In your case, their username is different. Then app data, roaming, Python 3.9 site package. So go to that package, go to that location, see user, then Lenovo, then app data. This app data is hide folder. You need to unhide folder from your folder option. So unhide that folder, go to app data, then roaming, then Python, then Python 3.9, then site package. And once you go to the site package, click on date modify. So once you click on date modify, you can see latest date when your Paho get installed. So on 5th/11 I have installed the Paho. So I will copy all these 5th/11 date folder. So you can see whatever the 5th/11 date, it is not here, then it is start from here to here. I copy that all the folder which having 5th/11 date, because my Paho install on this date only and with timing. Then go to again C drive, then go to the program files, then go to the labs and electronics, then go to the Proteus 8, then go to the tool, then go to the Python, go to the lib and right click and paste here. So once you paste here, all the file, all the folder and file that you copy from your Lenovo app data folder and will be here. So you can see date modify again. So 5th/11 all my data come here 5th/11. So verify this one. So in this way you can install the MQET Paho library in your Proteus software. Then after restart your Proteus software and that Paho library get installed in your Proteus software. So in this way you can install other library if you require in your project. So this is the first library that we require. Now second one, in Proteus software we require this IR sensor. So how to install that IR sensor I will tell you. So first go to the downloaded folder from my Google Drive link. So car parking system, this is the folder. You will find this library folder. Then inside that library folder you will find this infrared sensor files. So copy all these files. Once you copy all this file, go to the C drive, then go to the labs and electronics, program file, then labs and electronics, then Proteus 8, then data, then library, data, then library, and paste whatever the infrared file you are copy, paste here. So once you paste here, go again restart your Proteus software. Okay, once you copy all the IR sensor file here, just like copy and paste. So I will paste my file, click on continue. So you can see IR file comes in the data library, then data and then library, all the IR file. So in this way you have to complete all the process to install the Paho and to install the IR sensor in your Proteus software. Now we will see how you can design this Proteus or simulation hardware in your Proteus software. So first open your Proteus software with Proteus 8.9. Right click on this Proteus 8.9 and click on run as administrator. So once you click on run as administrator, click on yes button. After that go to the new project. Then give your project name whatever you want, just like car parking. So I will give car parking system. Then after that provide your path of your project, then click on next, then click on this create schematic, click on next, then select this do not create PCB layout, click on next, then create firmware project, then go to the family and select Raspberry Pi, and after that click on next and click on finish. So once you click on finish, you can see there are two windows open, source code window and schematic capture window. In source code window we will write our code, so first delete all this code, and in schematic capture window we will see we will simulate our project. So first part is we will create a circuit for LCD module. So go to the component mode, click on P and type here LCD 16 cross 4. We will take 16 cross 4 LCD for this project, and click on OK and click on place that LCD here. After that you have to first connect all the default pin to the input pin of LCD. So first go to the terminal mode, then click on ground and connect the ground to RW pin. So connect here this ground. Now click on again terminal mode and click on default. After that select default pin, right click on the default pin, rotate one anti-clockwise. After that place that pin here. After that copy this pin, copy to clipboard, right click, paste from clipboard, paste here, and copy to clipboard, paste here in front of D4, copy paste in front of D5, copy paste in front of D6, copy paste in front of D7. After that connect pin one by one. Okay, now next part is you have to connect RS pin to the GPIO 4. So double click on this RS default pin and give your name GPIO 4. Then after that enable pin should be connected to GPIO 17 of Raspberry Pi. So double click on enable pin and give your name GPIO 17. After that D4 pin should be connected to GPIO 18. So double click here and give your name GPIO 18. Click on OK. Now D5 should be connected to GPIO 27. So double click on D5 pin and give your name GPIO 27. Then D6 should be connected to GPIO 22. So double click here and give your name GPIO 22. Then D7 should be connected to GPIO 23. So double click here and give your name GPIO 23. Click on OK. After that we have to connect the IR sensor to Raspberry Pi. So go to the component mode, then click on P and type here IR sensor. Spelling should be correct, IR sensor. Then after that select this obstacle IR sensor and click on OK and place sensor here. After that double click on this sensor, go to the program files, then go to the downloaded folder from my Google Drive link. Then inside you can find the library folder, and inside library IR sensor Proteus library folder, and in that you have to select the X file and copy and open and OK. Now once you place the IR sensor, then we have to give that input to the test pin. So test pin input nothing but the logic state. So with that logic state you can change the input to the IR sensor. So if you want to take the logic state, go to the component mode, then click on P and type here logic state. So once you type logic state, you have to select this logic state, this one, then click on OK and place that logic state here. After that right click and rotate 180 degree and again shift here and connect from here. After that out pin should be connected to Raspberry Pi. So go to a terminal mode and click on default and place that default pin here and connect that default pin to default pin. The ground pin should be connected to ground. So go to a terminal mode, click on ground and place the ground pin here. Then after that connect the ground pin to this. Then VCC pin should be connected to VCC. Go to the generated mode, click on DC and place that DC pin here and connect that DC pin to here, this pin. Okay, Now double click on DC pin and give here voltage 5 and click on OK. After that, out pin should be connected to Raspberry Pi GPIO 5 pin. So double click here and give here name GPIO 5 and click on OK. And after that, if you want to give the name here like slot 1, parking slot 1, go to the A mode and click on pin and type here, click here and type here parking. Then you can increase the size, then click on OK and place that, select this arrow mode, then connect, just move here, then right click here, copy to clipboard and paste again here and double click here and give your name slot and 1. So in this way you can complete the first part of IR sensor. Now you have to repeat the same procedure for the second and third part. So I will show the second part again, and third part you can understand. So if you want to select the IR sensor again, go to the component mode, then you can see here IR sensor is already there. So select this and place here. Then after that you have to connect the logic state. So go to the again component and you can see logic state already there. Select this and place here. Right click here, rotate 180 degree and here and place connect here. Then after that out pin should be connected to Raspberry Pi. So go to a terminal mode, click on default and place that default pin here. Connect pin to here. Now ground pin should be connected to ground. So go to terminal mode, click on ground and place the ground pin here and connect the ground pin here. And VCC again generated mode, click on DC and place that DC pin here and connect the DC pin to here. Then double click on this pin and give a voltage 5 and click on OK. Now double click on IR sensor, go to the folder. Again you have to repeat the same procedure. Go to the go to your downloaded folder, car parking system, then library, and then this hex file. Click on OK. Click on OK. So in this way you can complete the second part. If you want to give the name here, again go to the selection mode, copy this all this name, right click, copy to clipboard and paste here and give here name slot 2. Now if you want to repeat the same procedure again, if you want to see the third sensor, I will show you in quickly. I just need one IR sensor, so go to the again component mode, go to the IR sensor, place that sensor here. Now double click on sensor, select the hex file, go to downloaded folder. This will show in quick way because it is a repeat procedure again. Car parking system, then library, then infrared, then hex file. Click on OK and click on OK here. Then again out pin should be connected to Raspberry Pi. So go to the terminal mode, click on default and place that default pin here. Then click default pin here. Ground pin should be connected to ground. So go to terminal, go to the ground and place the ground here. Connect here. VCC pin should be connected to DC supply. So go to generated mode, then click on DC and place the DC here. Double click on DC, give your voltage 5 volt and click on OK. Logic state, again go to the component mode, click on logic state and place that logic state here. Right click on logic state, rotate 180 degree, connect the logic state here. Then after that you have to copy the name, go to the selection mode, copy the all name, copy to clipboard, then paste that name here and give your name slot 3. So in this way, and then after that connect that IR sensor to Raspberry Pi GPIO 12. So double click on this pin and give your name GPIO 12 and click on OK. So in this way you have completed all the part of your project, like all the part means circuit diagram of this project. Now we will see importance of each and every line from the code. As you know, I already told you have to write the source code in the source code section. I will open my code first. So I will close this window and I will open my code from the source code. Now we will see importance of each and every line from this source. So first line is input time. So if you want to create some delay in your code, you require this library. Then next library is import raspberry pi.gpio. So if you want to use GPIO pins in your project from the Raspberry Pi, you require this library. Then import time, it is a duplicate line. So next line is import OS import system. So if there is any OS function or system function, then you require this library. Then from URL parse, import URL parse. So basically this URL parse library, it is used to create a URL for MQTT protocol. So in this project we will use the MQTT protocol. Then import PAHO MQTT client as PAHO. Basically we will use the PAHO client for the MQTT protocol. So to use that client we will use this line. Next line is GPIO.set mode GPIO board. So basically if you want to use the Raspberry Pi as a compute board, you require this line. Then GPIO.set warning to the false. When you run this code on actual Raspberry Pi hardware, then Raspberry Pi gives you warning that whatever the GPIO pin you have used is already used before. So to avoid that warning, you have to use this line. Then some defines. Then after that LCD 7. So you can see we have connected the RS pin of LCD to GPIO 4, and GPIO 4 is nothing but the Raspberry Pi 7 number pin. So that we have given here LCD RS to 7. Same for LCD enable pin, you can see 11 number. So you can see on the circuit diagram we have given enable pin to 17, and so that 17 is nothing but the 11 number of Raspberry Pi. So that we have given LCD enable is equal to 11. With the same logic we have defined all the LCD pin. Now slot 1 sensor is 29. So you can see in the circuit diagram IR sensor, that is parking slot 1 sensor, is connected to GPIO 4. So that we have given here GPIO 5 is nothing but the 29. So that we have defined here slot sensor 1 is equal to 29. Slot sensor is nothing but the variable to access that sensor. So we have defined the 3 variable for the 3 sensor, and we have given the pin number for each and every variable with this sensor, with this all this sensor. Now after that we have to define all the pins as an input or as output. So you can see LCD pin, all the LCD pin act as output pin because Raspberry Pi send the signal on that pin. So that if you want to define any pin as output, we will use GPIO.setup pin name and GPIO.out or GPIO.in. So all the GPIO LCD pin as output and all the sensor pin as a input. So we have defined all the sensor and all the LCD pin as output or input with this all this line. Then after that LCD bit is 16 because we have 16 character LCD. Then after that LCD character, all this character, all this variable we will say later what is use of this variable. Now LCD line number 1 is 18, line number 2 is C0, and line number 3 is 90. So if you want to print any value on LCD line number 1, that is row 1, then you require this line, this variable. If you want to print any message on row 2, then you require this variable. Same for the row 3, this variable. Okay, now after that def on connect and def on function on publish. So whenever Raspberry Pi, whenever your Proteus software gets connected to MQTT broker, the broker is this one, then this def on connect function gets called automatically. Then after that def on publish. So whenever you press one signal on IR sensor, then one message sent from your Proteus software to your mobile application, and to send that message we will use this function def on publish function. Then PAHO.client. So if you want to use the MQTT protocol in your Proteus software, you require the MQTT variable, and to create that variable we will use this line. Then we have to assign this function to function call. So this is the way assign the event. Then after that os.environment get. So basically for MQTT we require the MQTT broker and port address. So to define the MQTT broker and the port address, we will use this line. So in this line you can see this is our broker and this is the port address. Broker name is broker.emqx.io. So if you want to change the broker, you have to just replace all this word only. TCP remains as it is. Double / also remain as it is. You have to just replace all this line. So free broker list already available on the Google. So just if you want to change the broker, in case in future if your broker is not working, this broker is not working, and if you want to change the broker, just go to the Google and search free MQTT broker, and you can replace that broker with this broker name. After that port address remain as it is. Then if you want to create the URL for this broker, then you require this function URL parse and URL string. We will pass this string to here. Then after that if you want to connect with your broker, from your Proteus software, then you require this function mqt.connect, then URL host and URL port. URL host nothing but this one, and URL port is nothing but 1883, and automatically this on connect function, this one gets called, and your broker gets connected. Your Proteus software gets connected with your broker. First line what is executed in program is LCD init function. So you can see LCD init function is here. So here first one is LCD init function. In LCD init function we have to send some command so that our LCD gets work. So this command is nothing but start the LCD, take the initial to first row only. Message should be printed on first row only. All this command, you can see all this command, and you will see you will get details of this command on Google. You can search the LCD command, you can easily find the importance of each and every command. So main important part of this is to how to send this LCD command from Raspberry Pi on your LCD. So there is function lcd.byte, then you have to pass the command and LCD command. So the LCD command is nothing but the variable we have declared already here, LCD command to the false. So we will see this what is this function. So LCD command, it is jump to this LCD byte, then after that here is select GPIO.output LCD RS pin mode. So what is mode? We have sent here mode as a LCD command, so means this is the command mode. So whenever there is a command mode, you have to select RS pin, and that RS pin should be the Raspberry Pi should send the 0 signal on that RS pin. So you can see LCD command mode, this is variable, and this variable has a value false. So whenever you are sending the command on LCD, you have to send RS to 0, that is RS 0 signal on RS pin. So that we have already created function LCD byte send command, and LCD command, this is nothing but 0, automatically send on RS pin with this function GPIO.output LCD RS to 0. Then after that we have to send the data. So data is nothing but this is a 8 byte of data. You can see this is 8 byte of data, but in our schematic we have we use the 4 byte pin, 4 pin. So we have to segregate our data into 4 byte, so that we use another logic. So once this signal 33 number sent to LCD byte, it comes here. Then first part is set the command as a command mode. Then GPIO.output, all these our 4 pins should be selected to false by default. D4, D5, D6, D7 should be the false. This means that the 0 signal sent on the LCD D4, D4, D5, D6, D7 by default. Then next line is if bits ending with 0, 1, 0, that is higher byte is equal to 1, 0. So let's say this is 33 number. So first we have to send the 33 number, 33 data command on LCD. So in 33 we have to first aggregate the higher byte first and then lower byte first. So you can see this is our higher bytes and this is our lower byte. So from the higher byte we have to send the D4 first. So to send the D4 byte first, we have to masking with 10. So after masking with 10, you can see the D4 bits get one value. So if that value is 1, then we have to send one signal on D4. So that 1 again shifted to the D5, then again masking with 20, and if the value is 20, then we have to send the one signal on 5th number of LCD bit. So this logic applied to each and every pin D6 and D7. So once this higher bits get executed send on LCD, we have to shift the same logic to the lower bits. So again lower bits we have to send D4 first, then D5, D6 and D7. But in that case the masking is 0 cross 0 1. So we will see the code. So first we are sending 33, then the LCD bytes get here, then 33 mode is command because we are sending command. Then GPIO.output LCD RS pin to the mode, that is mode is command, that is 0. That means 0 signal send on the RS pin. Then by default we have to send the 0 signal on each and every pin D4, D5, D6, D7. After that we are checking is first bit masking with 10 is equal to 10. If 10, then we have to send D4 to the true. If that is not equal to 10, then we have to already send false signal from here. Then second bytes from the higher bits 20. If this value is 20 after masking, then we have to send D5 to true, then third byte 40, then D6 to true, and then last byte D7 byte. If when masking is 80, then we have to send D7 to true. If any of this condition false, then we already send the false signal. So once you send the higher signal, you have to toggle the enable pin. So to toggle the enable pin, we are using this logic LCD toggle enable. So in that logic, we have to pass the high-low signal on the enable pin. So to pass the high-low signal, this is the logic. Time.sleep. First we are sending some delay. Then GPIO.output enable pin to true. So it will send the high signal on enable pin. Then time.sleep to the pulse. Then it is sending some time sleep. Then GPIO.output LCD enable pin to a false. It is sending the 0 signal on LCD enable pin. Then after some delay, so it will toggle the pin. So once you send the higher bits, we have to send the lower bits again. So same logic will apply. First we have to send the 0 signal on each and every pins D4, D5, D6. Then again masking with 0, 1. So in this case is 0, 1. We are first masking with 1, 0 because it's higher bit, and this is the lower bit because this is lower bit. We have to send 0, 1. So if the value is 0, 1, then we have to send LCD D4 pin to the true value. Same for the D5, D6, D7. So in this case, we are sending the data on LCD pin. After sending the data lower bits, we have to again toggle the pin with a toggle function. So this is the basic idea behind how to send the data on LCD. So once LCD get initialized, the next part is we have to send the welcome function, welcome message on LCD line number 1. So we have already defined LCD line number 1 variable, which is nothing but the 0 value. So LCD.string welcome. So welcome is nothing but the array. So each array is divided into again 1 byte with their index. So index 0 contain W, index 1 contain E, L contain second index, then C. So this iteration we will do by the for loop. So first go to the LCD string function. So inside LCD string function there is a message that is welcome, and line is line number 1. So first we have to calculate the width of that message with this function. So once you calculate the width, we have to tell LCD that this message has to print on line number 1 by using this command, line command. So line command get execute with LCD byte. Same logic will execute. Then next is we have to iterate the welcome message. To iterate the welcome message, we will use for loop for I in the range of LCD width. So I is not starting with 0 and it incrementing 1, 2, 3, 4 till LCD width. What will be the length of this message? So let's say first I is equal to 0. So LCD byte function get execute with parameter message of I. So I is 0, then message of I is 0, nothing but the W. Then LCD character. Then we are passing the character to the LCD byte, so that LCD with so that RS pin set to 1, and then our message get print. Once the W is sent on the LCD, you have to send the E. So I increment to 1, then E will send, and same with the same logic, all the message send on the LCD. So once the welcome message printed on the LCD, we have to print car parking system message on the LCD with the same logic. Then after that we have to clear the LCD, then some variable, then while 1. So whatever the code present inside while 1, it will execute infinite number of times. So first line is MQTT loop. So you can see there is a 1 space after while 1 because all the code inside while 1 should be have the 1 space. Then first line is MQTT loop. So if your Proteus software wants to get connected continuously on your mobile application, then you require this function. Then after that GPIO.input slot sensor. So if Raspberry Pi want to sense the signal from IR sensor, then this line is used, GPIO.input, then IR pin number. So first sensor name is IR slot 1 sensor. So if Raspberry Pi wants to sense the signal from your IR sensor, then Raspberry Pi needs this logic GPIO.input. It is a function and it's require the pin name, and we already defined the pin name with this variable. So first sensor pin name is slot sensor 1. So once you press the 1 or 0 from this IR sensor, then this 1 or 0 get return from this function, and that will store into this variable slot sensor 1 status. Then after that it will check the second IR sensor status, and it will check the third IR sensor status. So after that it will compare the first IR sensor status is equal to true or false. So if the sensor status is true, that means the slot is parked. Car is parked in that slot. So you then you want to print slot park message on the line number 1. So if you want to print any message on the line number 1, you require this line, this logic. Then next line is very important, to send the data from your Proteus software on your mobile application. So slot 1, it is our token, and with this token we will pass slot is full. If the slot is parked, we will pass 1, and slot is empty, then we will pass 0. So if you want to pass the message from your Proteus on your mobile application, then you require this line, mqtt.publish, then token, and with value, then sleep. Then if the slot sensor is true, we have to pass 1 with this line, and if the slot sensor is 0, that means the IR has a 0 logic. Then we have to print slot is free, and we have to pass 0 on your mobile application. Now how to pass? Again the same logic, mqtt.publish, then token name, and then the value, that is 0. So for each slot there are different token. You can see slot sensor 2, same logic I have explained here, same logic apply here. Only difference is I have given slot 1 replaced with slot 2, and mqtt.publish, then slot 2. Only with slot 1 I replace 2. Same for the third sensor logic, replace 2 with 3, and with when parked, then send 1 signal on the mobile application. If not parked, then send the 0 signal on mobile application with this logic. So this is the simple idea behind your Proteus code. Now we will see how you can design your mobile application. So now first we see how to create the mobile application to send the data from Raspberry Pi on the mobile. So first you need to go to the Play Store. So type Play Store. Then after you type Play Store, go to the search MQTT dashboard application. So once you search MQTT dashboard application, you can see this MQTT IoT and Node-RED controller dashboard application you should open. Then after that you should install that application. So once you install that application, open that application. So once you open that application, you can see this window will open, and first we need to add the broker for our project. So if you want to add the broker, just click on the add first broker. Then after that you should give the broker name here. So in that case my broker name is let's say Rahul. Then you should give the broker address. So broker address is starting with TCP double dot and then slash. So in code you can see we already given the broker address on the line URL string OS environment get, then TCP broker EMQX IO. So type as it is that line here. So first type TCP, then double dot, then / 2 times, then broker, then dot EMQX, then dot IO. So this is your broker name. After that you have to provide the port name. The port number is 1883. That also we have given in our code. After that click on save button. So once you click on save button, this broker will be start connecting, and once there is start connecting, it will show broker is connected and there is nothing. So whenever when you configure your broker, you will see blank window in this screen, and there is a name Rahul. And if you want to change the name, you just click on this 3 dot, then go to the manage broker and click on this icon and give here name car parking system and save. After that again go to the back, and you will see you will not see any button. So if you want to create this type of button here, just click on plus, then click on toggle. Then after that give here title name as let's say slot 4. So in your case you will type here slot 1. So I will type slot 1 only. Okay, now disable this, enable publishing and subscribe topic. So for the slot 1 we have topic name from our code is slot 1. So slot 1, the name and the small letter capital letter should be as it is what you define with mqtt.publish function with IR sensor 1, that is slot 1. This is slot 1 as it is there. Then after that on value, so means what it will reflect when you receive one signal. So on value is 1, off value is 0. So when there is on value, you have to when there is one signal, that means car is parked, and if the car is parked, that means you have to change the color to red. And if you want to change the color to red, click on this question mark and select this red color and go to the search icon, type here car, search, and you can select this car and click on OK. 0 value, that means car is not parked. So again go to the question mark, car is not parked means green signal, then go to the icon, type here car and search here, select this car and click on OK. Then after that, in this way, click on save. So in this way you can see this blank slot will be open. Now I will run my code, and after I will run my code, you can see I already taken here slot 1 and slot 1. So this slot and this slot should have the same value. So I will run code just to show you. So you can see this one is slot 1 is status is red, and also here is red, but you can see the background, complete background is not red. So if you want to change complete background as red, just go to this window and click on edit and type here paint background, card background, and click on save. So you can see now slot 1, this slot 1 and this slot 1 and this slot 1 have the same status. If I change to green, so that's I will give 0 signal on my IR sensor. So you can see this slot, also this slot has a green signal. So in this way you can create your own buttons here. Now if you want to duplicate that button, I will show you how you can duplicate that button, so it will easy. So just click on this button that you have created, click on duplicate, and once you click on duplicate, go to this slot, edit this slot, and this should be the slot 2 status, and here is topic surprise is slot 2, and whatever name remain as it is, and click on save. And same you have to duplicate here and give here name slot 3 status, and here should be slot 3, and save here. So once you save here, again I will run the code. So you can see in this way you can duplicate your button, you can create your own button with the own symbol, and you can see all this button have the same status because I have subscribed all the topic with the same name. So this is the logic behind your mobile application. So now you can now we will see how you can run my ready-made project if you download from my Google Drive link. So first you have to go to the Proteus 8.9 software, click on run as administrator, then click on yes button, then after that go to the open project, then after that go to the downloaded folder from my Google Drive link. So this name should be the car parking system Proteus. Then go to the simulation folder, click on this car parking system, then click on open. So once you click on open, you will find the ready-made solution of your project. Now click on this run button. So before click on this run button, make sure that you have connected to your internet, and it might happen like I will show you. So it might happen when you run your Proteus software, you will see this type of error, Python process termination, and there is no socket linking. So this happen because you don't have the internet connection, or Proteus may take 15 to 10 minutes to connect your broker. So don't panic there. So just click on this run button. So once you click on run button, you can see welcome message there. So that means your project start working, and side by side you can open your MQTT application from your mobile. So I will open that MQTT application. Okay, now you can see slot 1, park 2, 3, all this park. If I change the value, let's say first slot I change the value, then you can see slot 1 is free and same status reflected on the mobile application. So in this way you can run your project, and same program, if you want to use the same program in actual hardware, you can use the same as it is program and run this program on actual Raspberry Pi, and it will reflect the same status from real-time IR sensor on your mobile application.